that's why you couldn't hear me. I forgot I changed some settings in my computer. Hi, how is everyone? Can you hear me now? Leave it to me to have craziness going on, right? Hi, Sheila Cushionberry, Tracy Jones, Miss Marianne, Robin Bryant, Ethel Smith, hello, Lisa, Tracy Jones. Thank you for subscribing to our new subscriber. Sheila Cushionberry, thank you. Tracy Jones, Ellis Wolf, thank you again. Pamela Jackson Coppage, I can't hear you, thank you. I appreciate you letting me know that. Gloria Spivey, Pamela Hawkins, Carol Coleman, Ronnie's Raps, Susie Sarver, Dorothy Gaston, my favorite folks, Sheila Cushionberry. Good thing you can lip read. I'm glad you can lip read, darling. Tracy Jones, thank you for letting me know you can hear me. Hey, you caught me live, Jalil. What's up, girl? Myra Thompson, hello, Myra. How are you? Tracy Jones says hello to everyone. Gail, how are you today? Let us see. I am doing great, you guys. Thank you for those who checked in on me after the storm when I was letting everybody know that I didn't have power for darn near 3 days. It was about to be caveman status around here, man. I was like, oh no. Thank you. Yes, I'm glad I have power too, because I was like, oh, where am I going to have to do live? Ainen, hello, welcome to our live. Eartha Lewis, hello, my dear. Latasha, hey, how are you? Gayleen, hello. Nurse to be for me, hello. You say love me, that's funny. Oh man, I have to laugh at all kind of stuff. That's to keep from like losing it. I laugh about stuff instead of getting mad. Tashia, hello. Diana Innes, hello. You was wondering why you couldn't hear? Yeah, I didn't have my microphone plugged in and I didn't have it selected. So I mean that's kind of a duh on my part. Diane Henderson, hello to you. Hello to you. Diana Innes, hello. Carrie Guernsey, hi from Dallas. Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining us here from Tejas. Glam, how are you? Carolina Thread Place is getting our kits together. Thank you, Will. We appreciate that. Leah Jones, hello. Janet McKinney, hey, darling. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Susie Sarver said I will be sitting in the dark with a flashlight hand sewing. No, ma'am. I was miserable because I couldn't have my coffee. I went in and I was like, you know what? I don't have to have power. I'm going to get me some coffee. And the Keurig was like, no, you ain't. And my feelings were so hurt. Because, you know, when you get used to doing with the Keurig, you kind of forget how to do normal ways. You know, like finding something to heat it up in regular coffee. Oh, man, I was like depressed. I couldn't get my coffee. And then on top of that, I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I didn't need coffee. I love ice and ice cold drinks. So I got some ice out the freezer. We had a little bit left, and I go to push the cup to the front of the refrigerator and get my water. And the refrigerator was like, you ain't get water either. Oh my God. I was like, no. My filtered water. So I had to go over to the sink and drink sink water. Tap water. How tragic. So anyways, I was roughing it for a few days. It wasn't horrible. Cool thing is my hot water heater, the way it's set up, it kept us some hot water for a long time. So I was happy. I had hot water to take showers and stuff with for a good couple of days. But it was like when it started getting dark, I was like, oh no, I don't like this anymore. So I had like lanterns and the little fake candle things from Dollar Tree around the house to light up certain areas. You don't realize how noisy your house is on a regular, everyday, every night basis until you don't have power. I mean, like sitting there, you couldn't hear, I mean, just ambient sounds, right? So you could clearly hear like the crickets, the dogs messing around outside. And I had my mom laughing. I told her, I was like, I could hear the ambulance, you know, at my aunt's house about 20 miles away, which was a lie. But that's how loud and clear the paramedic was going by the house Friday night, and I was like, okay, see, I need some noise from somewhere. It was crazy. So, 'cause I sleep with a fan on too for that white noise, and I just didn't have that. So, needless to say, I'm gonna be exhausted. I slept great last night, right? The power was back on. I slept great. So, but yeah, not having power, you're like, okay, all of these things I could be embroidering right now that I want to embroider, kits and projects that I want to do, and record my video for the next week coming up. I mean, I thought of everything, and I hate washing clothes, and I was like, I could be washing clothes. You know, it's desperate when you willing to wash. So I was like, oh man, this is tragic. So, but it wasn't too terribly bad. Even around the corner, my favorite Dollar Tree that I've told you guys about, that's around the corner from my house, they were closed because they had no power for 3 days as well. Matter of fact, as of last night, they still didn't have power. Now, I don't know if they had it today, because I didn't go that way. I went to visit with my in-laws, but it was crazy, you know, going around in this area and how pitch black it was. It was terrible. So yeah, I am very happy to have my power, and I was not trying to sew. I was like thinking of all the things I could have been doing had I had power. So maybe I should have been thinking about the stuff I could do without power, but you know, everything centers around having power. It's crazy, you know, like I'm never taking it for granted. ever again. That's hilarious. But anyways, Nancy Fowles, hello. Contessa Harris, hello. Thank you very much for being here with us this evening. Terry Ponce, hello. Angela Llewellyn says, hi, hope everything is good with you. It is, my dear. I have power. I was watching your video on Sew It Pro. Well, thank you. Hopefully it was helpful. If you have any questions about Sew It Pro, please let me know. You can either email me or contact me and instant message me on Facebook, and we'll help work it out as best as we possibly can. Afro-Colombian, I know, it was pretty sad. Pamela Jackson says, Miss E, my twins Sherry and Leilani are yelling hello to you in the group. Well, hello, babies. How are you? Your tweens. How old are the tweens? Sherry or is it Cherry and Leilani? Leilani. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful names. I have a little cousin's daughter named Leilani, so that's beautiful. Terry Sample says, hello, everyone. Susie Sarver, well, glad you made it. Thank you, thank you. Afro-Columbia, yes, I am spoiled and proud to be spoiled, too. I ain't even mad. Fresh Roses Designs. We should be grateful for what we have and have access to. I know that is right. I'm trying to tell y'all firsthand. It was tragic, you know, and you don't realize every little thing that you have that's, you know, so convenience based, you know. So if I was in another area of the world where, you know, a lot of the things are not so power based, you know what I'm saying, based on electricity, there's a lot of things done the hard way, or what we would consider the hard way, and, you know, we got it easy and we still complain. It's crazy. Myra Thompson says, does Sew It Pro have an expire date? No, it does not. Have you ever tried to uninstall it and put it back on? Yes, you can. It can be uninstalled. You can reinstall it. The only thing is you need to make sure that when you get your code in the email, save it. Please, please save that email. Put it in a folder somewhere by itself that says Sew It Pro. If you know how to do that in your email, you can create subfolders and just make one that says Sew It Pro and put that email in there. Or if you have two emails, take that email and forward it to another email so that you'll have backup to it. Because what happens is, whomever you purchase your Sew It Pro from, like for instance, it could be from the Baby's Booty, or it could be directly from SNS Computing, doesn't matter where you get it from. If you lose it, they have to contact the person you purchased it from, and they have to go through their email and try and find that email and send it to you again. Now, I keep a backup of those emails so that if anything were to happen to my primary email, I'll have a backup of it. But you never know. Or say, for instance, God forbid, something happens to me. Well, I'm the only one that has access to that email. So I don't know that those emails are kept at the home office. I'm pretty sure they are. But it's just easier if you keep a copy of that email in the event of. And you can print it out as well, but it's easier to copy and paste your code and your name into the fields in your Sew It Pro to authenticate it. Now, from what I've been told, you can only have Sew It Pro up and running on 2 computers at one time, so just 2. So if you were to purchase 3 computers, well, technically 2 are only allowed licensed to run the program. If you tear up a computer or a computer breaks down, hard drive crashes, and you have to get another computer, and you already had it on 2, but one of the 2 crashed and you had to get another one, well, from what I was told, you contact them, let them know that you're trying to authenticate it on a new hard drive because your old one crashed, and they'll fix it up for you. That's what I was told. So yes, you can uninstall it and reinstall it. That's not an issue, Miss Thompson, at all. Barbara Raymond, good evening to you as well. Reese by Veronica, hello everyone from Houston. Well, we have someone in here from Houston and Dallas. That's cool. Terry Sample said, you need a treadle embroidery machine, boy. I know that's right. So that we can get that foot power in there and get that embroidery needle running. That would be, you know what, and it's crazy. I thought about it, and I know this is like far left field, but one evening I was sitting there and I was watching, because my daughter has this huge fish tank, and her fish, you know, there was no power, so they were just like, it was completely dead, and they was gliding through the water really slow because they're tropical fish, so they need hot or warm water. So when the temperature drops, it slows their little bodies down and they don't move as fast and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I don't want anything to happen to the fish. I didn't want them to die. And I was like, I wish there was something, because I don't have a generator, and I was like, I wish there was something you could do. What if I had like a treadmill hooked to some power or something that I could get it to run so that the fish could have their oxygen and stuff? I wouldn't even care about my coffee. And so I just didn't want the fish to die. You know, they didn't, but I was like sitting there like, man, there has to be something that somebody can do other than a generator that could get the power. But anyway, it was a crazy left field thought. Sorry about that. But a treadle embroidery machine, yes, to add some power to something that I would have loved to have been doing, especially on that night where it was like really dark and not much going on. Pamela Jackson says they're 15 and 11 and they love your channel. Well, cool beans. Tell them I look forward to seeing some of their embroidery projects. Tell them some of the cool things that they can do is do embroidery on jean pockets. If you can show them how to detach the pocket, it doesn't have to come all the way off of the jeans, but just down enough. Embroider on the pocket and then stitch back up the sides. That would be a really cool project and an awesome fashion statement for them in school that nobody else would have. So that would be really cool for them to do. You know what? I ought to do a video on it. That would be fun. Sheila Cushionberry says, even my books and magazines are electronic nowadays. You're absolutely correct. You are right, because I stayed on my tablet. Utah Grandma, hey love. Oh, I am so happy to catch you live. I wanted to let you know I got my embroidery machine the other day. Woo! So what does that mean? That means we're going to have to ring the bell. What kind did you get so we know what to ring for? Let us know. Let us know. Carrie Guernsey says, is Google Plus group gone forever? I had a rumor it was gone. The last thing I read online was that the Google Plus was going to shut down in a year. They were going to give it a year. So in 2019, around about this time of year next year, it will shut down. And there's a small sliver that will stay alive for business purposes only. Now, whether that will affect our group or not, I'm not sure, but I have already started putting my feelers out for an alternative location that is aside from Facebook. What I will probably do is put a poll in our Google Plus group to see which platform you would prefer, whether it be Facebook, whether it be something else. I have another one that's an option. I know someone else had mentioned Patreon, and Patreon can be one, but I don't know how that works as far as you guys being able to post information and back and forth. But I want it to be interactive. I don't want it to be just me showing you guys stuff. I want to see your stuff. You know, I don't want it to be just me posting things. So I'm trying to find one that's going to be a lot more fun for all of us and not just one-sided. And But Patreon is pretty cool from what I've heard, but I want to look into it a little bit more. But that's one. And that way to keep you from being on Facebook. Not everybody likes Facebook, and I totally get that. Let me see. Red Roses, hello. Sorry you're late. You're not late. You're okay. You're welcome, Myra. Valerie Hill says hello, you guys. Susie Sarver says, what size needle would you use for embroidery on a satin hat? I would most likely stick with the 7511 sharp because that's such a delicate material. And you could use a really lightweight cutaway on that, possibly even a tearaway, but make sure that whatever design you're using is lightweight. Your fabric is lightweight, so you're going to use a lightweight design so as to avoid puckering. But a 7511 should do you really well. Pamela Jackson says, will do. Tracy Jones says, hello, Valerie Hill. We need to connect. Sullivan Homesteader. Hey, even everyone. Hello. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for being here with us this evening. Carolina Threadplay say you have the remote ready for the bell. Thank you. Because we don't want to stress out the kitty cats. Debbie says, hello, even everyone. So happy your power is back. I know that's right, girl. I've been on here rejoicing since yesterday. And it's crazy. We went out of town yesterday, so I was about 2.5 hours away from home. So it came back on while I was out of town. My son was here, but I was like, that is just horrible, but it's good. You know, like I wanted to be here when it came back on. It's like I danced in the street with everybody else in the neighborhood. They said that people were outside cheering when the power came back on. That would have been fun to do. But yes, I'm glad it's back on too, Miss Debbie. Sheila Cushionberry says, have you thought about moving it to MeWe if Google Plus shuts down? I have not looked at MeWe personally. I did join MeWe, but for a different group, for my Sew It, well, not my Sew It Pro group, but for the Sew It Pro group that I'm in. They were on MeWe, but then they shut the MeWe down because it didn't do well. So, I don't know. We'll have to take a look at it again, but they don't even have the MeWe up anymore, and I think they only had it for like 6 months, if that. So we'll have to do that. Utah Grandma says it's a brother PE770. Ring that bell. Woo, girl, let's ring our bell. Hey! Congratulations, Utah Grandma, on your PE770. Woo! 5x7 in the house. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What did you decide to name your baby? Will, I hope that was enough warning. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. Tell the kitty I'm sorry. Angela Llewellyn, I got a PE770 about 2 months ago. Still in the box? Oh, no. We got to pull that baby out so that we can have some fun with that PE770. As a matter of fact, your PE770 would be perfect for the project that we have on tap for our video next week, our video tutorial. So I am really looking forward to it. It is super easy, just like the last 2 I did. So pull it out, dust it off, get her set up so we can get some embroidery done, girl. You're going to be able to work it. Darth Smith, Rejure, Darth Smith, greetings and salutations. Electricity, yes. Love to mom. May all are well and taken care. Ring the bell, name the machine, please. Yo, Google is not a perfect world. It's not. Oh, Lisa in Breckenridge. Hey, Miss Eve, you got a new machine too. A brother PR600. And I want to thank you for all the advice you have given me on growing this side of your business. Well, congratulations to you. That's a big baby. Have you thought of a name? No. Let us know what the name is. But meanwhile, we're going to ring the bell for your new PR. Sorry, 600. And Will, check the kitties for me. Ringing the bell. Yay! Congratulations to you, Miss Lisa, on your new baby, your PR600 with all those multi-needles. You have fun with that baby, ma'am. Congratulations. Congratulations. That's what's up. Sullivan Homesteader says, I contacted you on Google Plus and did not hear back from you. So I was not sure if I did it right. I posted some pics. Okay, I'll go and check it out. I'm not sure when you posted it. If it was recent, I didn't have power, so I've been kind of like catching up on stuff that I've missed over the last couple, and I was out of town yesterday all day. So just trying to catch up on some things and did get backed up. So I will go on there this evening after the chat and see what's going on. I apologize for overlooking that. But if there's something really specific and fairly important that you need to get in contact with me with, email me. That's the fastest, hands down way to get in touch with me versus online. Even on Facebook, email is definitely going to get to me, as long as I'm sane. Because sometimes I'll overlook stuff, but for the most part, email is the best way. At if you email me at thebabiesbooty@gmail.com, I'll get a hold to it faster. Okay. Let me see. Barbara Dance, hello. So Crafty, hi all just tuning in. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Miss Parker, Eve, go back up. You missed my question. Thank you. You asked a question? Let me check and see. Now, I will tell you, sometimes questions don't come through or statements don't come through. Because my daughter actually posted something in here one day. She said she was talking to me and I never saw any of her chat at all. So I'm going through, Miss Parker, and I do not see your question. So if you don't mind restating it, I would greatly appreciate it, because I do not see it. The only post up until that I just read is the only one, and I'm coming back down to make sure that I'm saying that correctly. And I do see it. I'm sorry. It was after the Google Plus question. Hello Eve, quick question. Is the repositional hoop a part of the 3-part hoop package, or is it a different hoop altogether? It depends. What 3-part hoop package are you mentioning? Because there's, I know there's a 3-hoop package, but it's the standard hoops that come with the PE 770. And then there's other hoop packages, like I know there's one with a repositional hoop in it, and of course there's a repositional hoop for the PE 770 and one for the 4x4. That's not the same hoop. You can't use that same hoop with both machines. So I'm not sure. It depends on which package you're talking about. What you can do is send me a link to the package that you're specifically looking at, and I'll let you know if that is the repositional hoop that you would need. And you need to let me know if you have the 4x4 machine or the 5x7 machine, so that I can make sure that you are getting the right hoop for your machine or the right package. Let us see. Maria, hi Eve, how are you? I thought you weren't coming on. Oh no, we're coming on. Even if I had to go to my mom's, I was going to stream live today. So today we're not, Miss Princess, we're not really covering any topics today. Today is just general questions, general embroidery questions. And about once a month I like to do that, because you can't always target a specific topic every single time, because a lot of times there's questions that may come up that someone had thought of, but it doesn't quite fit the topic, and we don't get to really discuss it. So like last week was vinyl, so we really didn't do very much with embroidery last week. So if there were embroidery questions last week, we definitely can address them this week. So today is more of a free range topic. And I also have our mystery question from my mom, that she likes the throwback or do you remember part of the show that she put into our show over the last few weeks. So the first one was the cricket doll. The second one was computer speakers. So now we have our third one and possibly our fourth one today. It depends. If you get the third one, then we won't do the fourth one. If you don't figure out the third one, then we have the fourth one for those who want to do the throwback and win a free Hoop is a Group t-shirt. So be sure to hang on and we'll discuss this one, because I really am not sure how well you're going to catch. The third one is hard. This one is going to be really hard, really difficult, because I actually don't remember it myself. But for those that do remember it, they know what it is. But I actually didn't remember it myself. So we'll have to see how that goes. Utah Grandma, your daughter had to cover her ears. Oh no, sorry. Tell her I apologize. Carrie says, thanks for the Google Plus info. You're welcome. And thanks for being one of the few people that ever pronounces my name correctly the first time. Laugh out loud and ring the bell twice. You got the P772? Oh my gosh. Congratulations, Will. Check the kitties. Congratulations, Carrie. Good for you and your PE 770. All that 5x7 goodness. That is awesome. Congratulations, ma'am, on your new baby as well. And please be sure to let us know what you name your baby as well. Hey, Miss Cat, how are you? Welcome. I hope you're not at work. Hope they gave you a day off and you can watch us without any issues. Carrie says, I named my Bertha. Sorry, you already told me, because I have 7 granddaughters that it will birth lots of outfits for. I love it. That is amazing. Cool beans. Thank you for letting us know that, Bertha. We'll have to keep a tab on Bertha and see what all she's cranking out in the weeks to come. Terry Sample says, yesterday my daughter-in-law gave me back the PE 770 I had given her several years ago. Wow, why did she give it back? Oh no, we were supposed to encourage her to keep going. But it's an extra machine for you, so we're not going to complain. Miss Cat says, I've got some catching up to do, still needing prayers. God is good. Yes, ma'am. Yes, he is all the time. So we appreciate you letting us know that you need prayers, and prayers will go up for you. Miss Glam says, congrats to all the new babies coming in. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. Terry Sample says, don't need the bell for that one. Okay, we appreciate it. So Crafty says, Eve, my new baby Dream Machine 2 is a year old and doesn't have a name. Well, let's see. What about Crafty Cathy? I don't know. What do you guys think would be a cool name for So Crafty's baby? What baby? You said the Dream Machine 2. Let's come up with a name for her and help her out. We can hashtag a name. What do you think? And then you could pick one. How about that? We'll see how that works for you. Pink Pup Animations. I have a question. Do you do hand embroidery? I used to. I don't anymore. And when I used to, I was, oh my gosh, 12, I think. I was really young when I did it. I was taught how to do hand embroidery, but I don't now. And if you don't, would you consider making a video of you trying? Also, ring the bell super loud, please, like into the mic loud. I'm not going to do that because we have sensitive ears in here, but I do like to ring the bell, and we ring it all the time. But I don't mind doing a video of me doing it because I've done it before, and it's not difficult. It's just you have to know or remember the different types, like the French knot and the back stitch and all of that jazz. And it's been a long time. I would probably look all of that up and do a project, but it's gonna take forever. It's easier to do it on the machine. Utah Grandma says, anyone have ideas for my new machine, baby? Congrats for the new machine, Lisa. Yes, ma'am. And hashtag names for Utah Grandma too. Carrie says McDreamy. Oh, Dream Machine, McDreamy. Oh man, yeah, that could work. That could work. Vivian Crosby says, hello, even everyone. It's been a while since I have been in contact with you. Well, welcome back, dear. We appreciate you coming back and joining us. We have always plenty of room in our embroidery group. Thank you guys for being in here today. Contessa Harris says, and then I just lost it. I looked over the other way. I have been trying to make a key fob, but I can't get the letter to embroider on it. Uh-oh, which one are you trying to do? Is it like a generic little key fob? Because I did one. It's over there, but it's a little square and it's got an E. You want to make sure that it's not super dense, for the lack of a better way to explain it, but not a letter or embroidery that's super dense, you know, something kind of lightweight, just a little bit. But let me know which one you're trying to embroider, like the square, the round one, designs by Little B, which one? Let me see. Sullivan Homesteader, Eve, can you tell me why your glow in the dark thread kept breaking on a design on your PE 770? Oh no. One of the things could be tension, depending upon the brand of thread that you're using. Okay, so if it keeps breaking, you want to, number one, check your needle. If it's not breaking with your other embroidery, then we want to take a look at tension and make sure also that the design isn't too dense that you're trying to embroider, but that actually, to me, sounds like a tension issue. So try and lessen your tension just a smidge and see if that helps. If not, then get in touch. Now, where are you getting your glow-in-the-dark thread from as well? If it's like from Amazon, is it from the store? Is it from Ganol? Just let me know where you're getting it from, because that'll make a difference as well. Tasha says, will the repositional hoop fit the Brother 900D? I bought this machine back out after discovering your channel. So the Brother 900D, is that a 4x4 machine? If so, then there is a 4x4 hoop that goes with the, a repositional hoop that fits the 4x4 machine. Okay, so the cool thing is, I seem like I remember seeing that number in the listing for the repositional hoop, the 900D. But when you look at the Amazon listing for it, it will tell you the different models that that hoop works with. Okay, so definitely double check that against the list. I can pull it up here in a little bit and we'll see if that's on there, if I don't forget, and let you know if that repositional hoop will fit your machine. Lisa says, laughing out loud, I didn't put much thought into the name. She's just my sexy babe. Okay, that works. Whatever works for you, my dear. We're not mad about it. Darth Smith says, when you answered the satin question, you mentioned that the design should be a lightweight design to go with the fabric. Would you suggest a lighter weight thread as you did for the small font? I wouldn't. The reason why I would say no is the lighter weight thread is mainly for those little itty bitty micro fonts, okay? Because your most embroidery designs are digitized for a regular 40 weight thread. Now there are some that are digitized for a thicker thread, and we'll have to get into that in an upcoming video on lace. But for right now, keep in mind most designs are digitized for 40 weight thread. So if it's a lighter weight design, it's going to take into consideration that there is a just generic 40 weight thread involved, because if you use that thinner thread, then there'll be a lot more space in between your thread and your stitches, and it's not going to come out looking as uniform, I guess is where I'm trying to get at. So that thin thread is made for fonts, the really small micro fonts. That's mainly what that is for. Of course, you can use it in embroidery, but you'll be able to notice the difference. And what we can do one day is do a stitch out of a design with 40 weight and do a stitch out of a design with the 60 weight and a stitch out with 70 weight, so that you can see the differences in the three on the exact same design across the board. And we'll do the same with a font, and you'll be able to see the difference in the stitching of the different weight threads. It's actually pretty cool to see the difference in how effective it is with those smaller fonts. It's actually really cool. So we'll do that. Miss Cat says, yes, you were off today. You haven't touched that PE 770 and you can't wait. I understand, but when you got a lot going on, sometimes you do have to take a step back and refocus a little bit later. Go ahead and get some things taken care of, so that's understandable. Tracy Jones is bringing out to us that we have 76, well now 74 people watching and only 12 likes, so hit the like button please, and we definitely appreciate it. Thank you so very much. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, because we do come live on Sundays 8 p.m. every week. Caroline Thread Place also streams live. You can go to that channel and subscribe as well. Also an embroidery and craft related channel on Fridays is when Mr. Will streams live for us and drops all that awesome knowledge on us. And he's also supposed to be doing some videos upcoming on Sublimation, so that's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Nona S says, hello all from Birmingham, Alabama. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us, Miss Nona. Now, what I'm going to do is take a time out right here, and we're going to go ahead and do the throwback. It's 30 minutes in, and I try to get this done in the beginning of the show, but we're going to go ahead and drop it in now. I wanted to catch up with folks and make sure people knew that electricity was flowing and we're doing good. But as I warned, this particular throwback, or do you remember, is an odd do you remember. And if you know what it is, then you know what it is. Okay, now we know what the brand is, and I'm going to show it to you So you will know what the brand of it is, but it's a specific type of this brand. And that's what we're looking for the winner of the t-shirt. Okay, and I wanted to bring out too that the winner of this t-shirt, I believe she wanted it to also be the Hoop as a Group but Walk as a Troop for the month of October breast cancer awareness design, which is a special design. We don't have those floating around out there. So super excited. Oh, there we go. Excited about letting you guys see that. I think I'm gonna have to pull it out this way. Sorry. Alright, let me see if I can get this out of there without y'all seeing everything. Okay. No, she doesn't come out. No, she doesn't come out. Does she come out? Yeah, she does come out. Okay. Can't get it out. And I think my auntie is watching. I couldn't get it out the box. Alright. And if you know what type it is, then you'll understand why it's still in the box. And it is a she. It is a she. So, I'll show front and back and let you guys. Now, again, this is first person to tell me. We know what it is, but what type it is. The first person to guess it will get the free Hoop as a Group t-shirt, Walk as a Troop. Okay? So, this is our friend today. And we already know what brand our friend is. We already know what brand she is because she's a very popular brand. But she's a special edition of this brand. And I'm going to turn her around on the back in the event that maybe one of you bought your child one and you remember having to take it back to the store. So she's rare. She is very, very rare. Very, very rare. Yeah, we know she's a Cabbage Patch, not Garbage Pail. She is a Cabbage Patch. But she had to be taken back. She was a recall. And I want to know if anybody, we want to know, my mom wants to know, does anybody remember why she was a recall? So I doubt there are very many of these floating around out there at all, actually. This is a banned baby. She's a bad baby. So we want to know if you remember her at all. So we'll leave her here. So far, nobody has got it. And I told Mom this was going to be a tough one. So if nobody gets this by the end of the show, I'll tell you what she is and what it is about her that makes her a bad baby. And why she I didn't think about bad language. No, it's not bad language, Terry. I'm glad they didn't make a Cabbage Patch with bad language. But it's something dangerous, actually, that she did. This one does. And we couldn't get her to work. Otherwise, I'd show you. But there's something dangerous that she did. And it wasn't good. And she was recalled. So I'll hang on to her right now. Her shirt is backwards, is it? No, I think her shirt. I don't know. It's not the shirt. It's not the shirt. And it's not an easy one. It really isn't. But there's something different about this baby. I don't know if you can see the difference with this Cabbage Patch that none of the other Cabbage Patches have. You know? So. Oh, Will, did you look up something? Yep. Yes, Latasha and Will and Red Roses. Did y'all go out? I don't mind if you looked it up because it was going to be tough. Yes, this is the Snack Time Kid. This is the Snack Time Cabbage Patch baby doll. The Snack Time Kid. And she was bad. Okay, so this baby, she eats, right? And we couldn't get her to work. Otherwise, I would show you. But I could take anything like a pen or whatever and stick it in her mouth. And she would start like a chewing action. And there's a gear in the back of her throat that would pull in whatever you put in her mouth for her to eat. And it would come out in this book bag, right? In the back. So that the child can keep eating it. Well, somebody's little child put their hair in her mouth. Okay. And once she starts chewing, there's no button to cut her off, right? So she would just continuously chew, and it was pulling the child's hair in, and so they had to ban this baby because she would eat children's hair. So you're not a good baby, not at all. No, ma'am, you're not. So you're going to have to go back in the box. So congratulations, Will. You're going to get the special edition shirt. You were the first to mention that she was the snack time, or that she was even a chewing doll or anything about it. So we appreciate that. That was a lot of fun, you guys. Thank you. Mom's going to be happy because I was like, Mama, ain't nobody going to get that. The baby was banned. Who's going to remember the baby? But Will said his sister had one and you played with it. Oh, cool. Did you let it eat your sister's hair, Will? Oh, man, that's funny. So thank you guys for that. We have the one for next week already here then. So it'll sit right here. This one's easy, though. It's easy peasy, mac and cheesy. Everybody should know that one. So we may have to figure out something a little bit easier to, you know, maybe 2 people or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out for next week. But next week is going to be easy. I would feed it dog food. Will, you are a mess. Q, you're going to bed. I'm sorry, dear. Thank you for being here with us. Alrighty, let me get back to the chat because I also made a time out on that. So let us see. Maria says, thanks, Tracy, for reminding you to hit the like button. I know, that was awesome. Sullivan Homesteader says eBay overseas. eBay overseas. And Tasha says it's a 4x4. If it's a 4x4, Tasha, then the repositional hoop for the 4x4 machine should work. Okay. The only thing is, what I would suggest is look in that list, because it does list the models that it will fit, and make sure that your model is on that list. And it should be. Seems like I remember a 900 being on that list. Contessa says it's a round one I bought Etsy. It's by Suki's D. A round one. Is it a hoop? I'm not sure. I think I missed something on that. I'd have to scroll back up and see. Been trying to make a key fob. Oh, the round one. Okay. If it's a round one you bought off Etsy, did it come with the lettering? Because if it came with the lettering, then the lettering should have been digitized to stitch on that key fob. If not, Designs by Little B, she has small fonts that can go on key fobs. You may want to take a look at the fonts that she has available. She even has a monogram one with the 3 letters. It's really pretty. That's small. It's like 1 inch, and it looks gorgeous on the smaller keychain. So you may want to give that a try. Red Rosa says, hitting that like button. Thanks, thank you. We appreciate that. Shouty? Can you shout out Shouty? Shotgun on Instagram. I'm not, you don't have to apologize for asking. I don't mind giving shout outs. Kay says, my brother 4x4 machine needle will not see center or left, only right, but embroiders perfectly. Is it time for the shop, or do you have any tricks? Wait a minute. It's will not center or left. Oh no, that sounds like a motor issue on the embroidery arm part. So if it embroiders perfectly, then for right now, I guess it's okay to keep using it. But definitely look into that and find out why it won't go to the left or centered. That's interesting. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Dar Smith says, thank you, Eve. Excellent answer. You're welcome, my dear. You sure are a good teacher, and you have a lot of experience. I have a lot of mess ups. That's what I So when you're doing projects and you screw up, you kind of like, oh, let's not repeat that ever again. Let's remember that. And that's where a lot of this information comes from, because I didn't really have anybody to sit and ask these questions to. And so it was disconcerting in the beginning, and I made a lot of mistakes and broke a lot of needles, messed up a lot of fabric, went through a ton of stabilizer. So it was like, at some point in time, you have to pass that information on to someone else so that they'll love embroidery as much as you do. So I appreciate you letting me know that. Thank you very much. But a lot of what I say and do is from experience, or I've looked the information up in the past or recently and have no issue sharing it with other people. Not at all, actually. Maria says, check to see if your glow-in-the-dark thread, oh cool, coming off the spool properly. Sometimes if the thread is sitting right on the bar, the thread may come off too quickly or too slow and cause it to break. That's an excellent tip, Maria. I didn't think of that, because you do want to make sure that your thread comes off of your spool properly and as evenly as possible. Dark Smith says, as for the glow-in-the-dark thread, I might think that you would need to put the spool on an extender spindle so that the thread can roll the spool as it unwinds. So again, making sure that it comes off of the thread smoothly and properly seems to be a consensus here. So thank you, Dar and Maria, for your information. I appreciate that. Linda Hamilton says, hello from snowy Colorado. Well, congratulations on the snow. Oh my gosh. My son sent me a picture of my grandbaby. Now, way back, I have a video of my little granddaughter sitting in her little pink boppy seat in the corner. She was on one, I think, video with me, maybe two. And she was a little teeny thing back then, maybe 4 or 5 months old. But now she's like going on 2. And she's playing in the snow. And I'm like, snow? What in the world? Well, they're in Nebraska. And it has started snowing today. I'm like, oh my God, it's time for you to move back home. That is crazy. Oh my gosh, snow in October. Oh man, I would be so sad. So I'm happy you have snow, Linda Hamilton. I'm glad it's not here yet. I'm not ready for that mentally. But wow, snow already. Wow. Dar Smith says, my answer comes from Thread Therapy from Dr. Bob and Superior Threads. Man, that was an awesome video. That was an awesome video. I really wish there was a way I could put that video on this channel. That's how much I thoroughly enjoyed watching that video. So thank you for mentioning that. Karen Bird says, finally I'm here. Welcome, my dear. Thank you for being here. You missed the bad Cabbage Patch Kid. Dark Smith says, and I haven't given birth, no worries. I'm like Nanny 911 for many a precious creature. That's so cool. I appreciate you saying that too, because sometimes people are like, well, how is she talking? Let me see. Utah Grandma says, is it safe to buy hoops from AliExpress China? I'm not going to say it's not safe, because this is the thing that I tell people frequently. When they seem concerned about buying things from AliExpress or Alibaba, a lot of the things that we purchase say made in China. I mean, honestly, a lot of stuff. So I can't see why it would be a problem to purchase from there. Now, whether the quality is good, whether it will fit perfectly, whether the measurement is just on, or whatever the case may be, you are taking a chance with that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts on that level. But I've gotten quite a few things from AliExpress and Alibaba, and haven't had any issues yet, fortunately. So you are taking a risk, but I doubt it's going to be a tragic risk, because they know that their services are based on ratings as well, and you could leave a negative rating and it would affect them negatively. Okay, so I can't see them purposely selling something that's trash, unless it's just, you know, little knick-knack knockoff stuff. But I don't see where that would be a problem. But usually when you purchase from AliExpress or Alibaba, you have to order in bulk. So I don't know. That's going to be a personal decision on that one, Miss Utah Grandma. Carolina Threadplay says, I just put a picture up in the Google Plus group. It shows the attachment arm of the HE1 and the PE770. Thank you. So that you can see the difference between the two. Thank you very much. Cynthia says, have you ever embroidered on a sweater knit? A sweater knit. I have not. I'm trying to think and make sure I'm not telling a fib. I don't think I have. I have not. Well, yes I have. Because technically, beanies are a type of a sweater knit. So I have embroidered on beanies, and of course there is not one near here because yesterday was the first cold day we've had. And I don't have one handy either. So that's the type of sweater knit. So yes, I have embroidered on a sweater knit, and it turned out fabulous actually on the beanies. So I wouldn't say don't do sweater knit. Just make sure that you have a good cutaway stabilizer behind it. And what you would want to do is do an embroidery design that has a nice thick density to it. So not little thin letters. It would need to be a nice thick lettering that you would want to use, or a picture with some decent feel to it. Not too terribly much, but enough to where there's satin stitching or something to that effect to help with making sure that the design doesn't sink into and get lost in that sweater knit. So yes, technically I have. Darcy Smith, laughing out loud. Yes, that is how many of us learn. We learn from our mess ups. That's why I give away $1 stuff so you can mess up and learn. I have done it as well, given away or taken to the thrift store things that I have not embroidered correctly. Thanks, Dar. You tried an unattached thread holder. No go. Oh man, sorry to hear that. So we'll have to figure out what is going on with that. Red Rosa says, what is the secret of using a thread stand? The secret of the thread stand, to a certain degree, is to make sure that your thread comes off properly. Okay, that's the whole point of a thread stand. Or to hold your thread, because maybe it's too big. Like the larger king spools are a little big for maybe the smaller 4x4 machines where the thread is horizontal instead of vertical up and down. So you can't load those big cones on the 4x4. So you would need to put that on a thread stand and let it come up and over onto the machine. Or the thread stand is for the cone spools, so that the thread can come up off of the spool as it's supposed to, instead of those round spools, the smaller ones where it goes around. Those need to come off the side, not up through the thread stand. So that's what the point of those thread stands are. Sullivan says, no, Snow, that's just wrong. In October, I said the same thing. When he sent me that picture, my heart was broken. Maria says, I have had several mess ups due to thread problems. Eve doesn't know it, but it was because of her that I went back to using metallic thread and have been successful. Thank you, Eve. You're welcome. You're welcome. That's what's in our picture for the live, is the metallic threads. And the cool thing is with metallic threads, if you get a really good one, you can get beautiful, beautiful embroidery with metallic thread. These three are from Tex-Mac, which is the company that sells the Happy embroidery machines. And their thread actually has been perfect in my machines. Now I do use several kinds. I use Madeira thread as well. Now the super twist doesn't, I have to turn my tension all the way down for the super twist. But this, I don't have to turn the tension down quite as much. A metallic needle can help. In some instances, you don't absolutely have to have it, but it can help. So there are some tips and tricks and stuff that we'll go into, because we really do want to do an updated metallic thread video soon. Not quite sure how soon we'll be able to get that done, but it will be coming up in an updated version. Because there are different types of metallic thread that we like to experiment with and see how it goes through the machine. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and thank you for letting me know that, Maria. Afro Columbia, you have a good night, dear. I will get in touch with you later. Red Rosa says, sometimes the thread doesn't seat right. Yes, sometimes it doesn't. And in that instance, a thread stand can help with that, as long as it's not the kind that should come off the side. If it's a spool, like in this instance, this thread goes crisscross. I don't know if you can see clearly the how the thread has, look at how it has like triangles, the way it crisscrosses. So that lets us know it needs to come up off of the spool, straight up off of it. Whereas a regular spool of thread, like this one, which this is sewing thread, this is an embroidery thread, but it's still a spool that is wound completely just around and around and around and around. There's no triangles there. It's just a uniform come off the spool this way, this type is not made for the thread stand to come off the top. It can, but what happens is usually those types of threads have like the little nick in the side to catch the thread, and the thread will get caught on that nick, whereas these, if you see how it is on the top, there's nothing to catch on this thread because it's out from the comb, whereas this is in the comb. If you look at it from the top, all you see is this lid. You don't see thread. You have to look at the thread from the side, whereas this one you see the thread from the top. So that also helps you know that it needs to come off the top instead of off of the side. So that is also something to keep in mind when you're trying to get your thread to go through the machine correctly. Diana Henderson, I bought 100 by 100 for my designer one, and it works perfectly from AliExpress. That's excellent. Thank you for letting us know. I was trying to tell you, you can get them, and I wouldn't knock it at all, because I mean, what do we have that doesn't say made in China as it is? So yeah. Barbara Nance, 2 questions. Can you reload the bobbin thread without losing your design and starting over? Yes, you can. Number 2, when changing thread color, do you need to bring the bobbin thread up before starting? What you need to do is check with your machine. All right, so let's give you a for instance. On my embroidery, my flatbed 4x4 machines, the way that one works, every time you load a bobbin, whether it's a new bobbin, whether it's a partially used bobbin, and you have to redo it, you put it in and you bring that thread tail around the cutter and cut it. I mean, that's just, I've gotten into that habit. That's the way I load it. So to that end, the machine will bring it up itself, but you have to make sure that that thread goes through that little U shape and cut the thread. So on my machine, I don't have to bring it up myself. The machine will bring itself up when I put it in that channel. Okay. So that's on my 4x4 machines. On the 6 needle machine, when I put the thread in the bobbin, I just make sure there's enough of the tail hanging off the top of the bobbin. I put the bobbin in the bobbin holder, close it up, and the machine brings it up itself. I don't have to bring that one up. So it depends on the machine. Whereas, of course, with my brother, not my brother's sewing machine, but my Singer sewing machine and my Janome sewing machine, when I load my bobbin, I have to bring the thread up myself. So it depends on the manufacturer of the machine. You definitely want to check your manual and see which route you're supposed to take. But if your brother, like I said, the 4x4, as long as you bring it through that little channel, it'll bring the thread up itself and you don't have to. Maria says, just be careful with things you buy from China. Some things are next to impossible to return. Yeah, now that's the one thing I will say. If you buy it from there, I wouldn't expect to be able to return it. End of discussion. Your money is gone one way or the other. So I wouldn't even, consider trying to return it, me personally. I would just say, oh crap, I just lost that money, and then, choose differently. Maria says, no, that was Maria before. I'm getting lost. Sullivan Homesteader, I just bought metallic thread for Christmas. Awesome. It's going to be pretty. Just like this. This is going to be a really pretty color for the holidays. Darth Smith says, red roses, what we learned from thread therapy, when you have a spool, it should come off sideways, like when the thread holder is on top of our machine, like how most pull off a cone from the top. That is correct. Oh, Sullivan Homesteader, Eve, where can I get the toilet paper designs that you showed a few weeks back on live? Can you post the link? I will have to remember. I'm not gonna lie to you, because that was a year ago roughly that I purchased those. So give me a little bit to look at my designs and see if there's a clue. Thank you for our new subscriber. If I can get a clue as to where the design came from, if I can figure that out, then I'll post the link. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to say I don't remember. So I'll look it up, though. That's not an issue. Jenny McKinney, I know what you mean about wasting thread and stabilizer. I guess it's a learning process. It is. And the thing is, we all learn from our mistakes and from our chances that we take, and it's nothing wrong with that. But that's also why I emphasize to people, when you're trying out a new project for the first time, use something that you can deal without and it not be that big of a deal to waste it, you know, because you don't want to, like, if someone sends you an order and they're like, I need you to do this book bag, and you grab that book bag to experiment on. No, go to a thrift store and find a used book bag, or go to a dollar store or something. Go somewhere and get just a used or low price bag or something like that and practice first. Then once you see, oh man, I can do this, this is gonna work, then you can go and use the actual bag that you're supposed to be doing the embroidery on, because nothing sucks worse than to be embroidering on the item, and because you didn't practice it first, it messes up, and now you got to figure out how to replace that bag, because in most instances they're not going to want that type bag, they're going to want that exact bag. So definitely you know, practice. And one of the tips, one really good tip that I would like to give is I try to find out ahead of time from the customer, where did you get this from? If I'm doing anything that they've brought to me, you know, I'm like, where did you get this from? Because if anything happens, which it can happen, I may need to replace this, or it may get destroyed. And if that's the case, you need to be able to get a hold to another one. So is this the only one left? Was this the only one on the shelf? Or a lot of times I'll tell people I'm not going to do the job unless it's something I can purchase myself. And then that way I know where I got it from, so I can get another one. Okay, so definitely, you know, keep those thoughts in mind when you're working on a project. Practice first. Practice first. I keep a junk towel right here that I practice towel designs on. I have hats. Like I had one beanie cap where I embroidered on one side and then I just switched it to the other side, and then another side to test out designs. I have a lot of stuff laying around that's like that here, where I keep it. A polo shirt, I have one right here on my chair, that if I need to practice a design that's going to go left chest on a polo shirt for an order for a customer, I like to test stitch it out first and make sure it's going to look good. And I can't tell you how many headaches I've saved myself by testing first. So definitely make that a practice if you can. All right. Maria says, if you're going to try a sweater, buy one at Goodwill for a few dollars and use it to practice on. That's what I was just saying. That's crazy. I appreciate you guys. It's funny. It's like our thought processes are similar. Sullivan's Homesteader says, what is better, an embroidered thread stand or a brother thread stand? Hun, there really isn't. Personally, there isn't a difference. The thing is, you need something that's pretty heavy duty, that's going to sit there, not wobble all around, not a super flimsy handle that goes at the top, and you want to make sure that that hook, whatever the hook is that the thread goes through, has a smooth path. No burrs, no plastic sticking out, you know, little sharp plastic, nothing, because you need that to glide through that. As long as you have that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because I bought a little I think it's cheap plastic one from somewhere. I can't even remember where I got it from, and it's flimsy in my opinion, but I didn't pay that much for it. I think maybe $8, if that. So it doesn't matter. Sullivan Homesteader says a thread nail helps with twist threads. It can. Yes, ma'am. Now I only use them on the big machine. I don't use them on my smaller machine. Dart Smith says, thank you, E, for explaining what the rest of us have been trying to type. You're welcome, my dear. You're welcome. Let us see. Dart Smith, I have a thread stand from Superior Threads where I can change the post for the thread, either the side or the bottom. Now, that's cool. That's a good thread stand where you can adjust it to what you need. Maria says, you're right, Eve. Almost everything comes from China. Just about. Bickham. Miss Bickham. Hey, babies. Booty Crew. I almost missed you. We're glad you made it, my dear. We're glad you made it. You missed the bad baby doll. And Will winning the contest for the shirt. And that's about it. Not too much else. Just answering a few questions. And I just realized it's 9:07. Oh, I cannot believe this. My clock. I have a clock up there. That clock says 9. And I've been telling myself to change that clock, because that clock is, what, 7 minutes slow. I'm just like, it's been like that for weeks, and I just haven't changed it, so I need to do that. So let's wrap up. Maria says I bought some embroidered thread on Amazon that is from China. So far I don't have problems with mine either. That's on that thread stand back there up towards the top. That's embroidered thread, and I haven't had issues with it at all. Carrie says, if you are embroidering on felt, do you need the same type stabilizer as embroidering on a hand towel? With felt, it depends. Are you going to wash it? Is it something that someone is going to be wearing, or it's going to be handled a lot? If it's going to be handled a lot, cutaway stabilizer. If it's not, felt is kind of heavyweight, just a smidge, so you can use tearaway, especially if it's a light design. You shouldn't need the topping on the top like you do with towels, because the pile, it stands up, whereas felt is a little loft to it, but not enough to really have to use a water soluble stabilizer on the top. Barbara Nance, you're welcome. Joyce Ricketts, hello, hello. Sullivan Homesteader says, never heard of them, Dar, but I'm going to look them up. Yes, I think that's a cool thread stand. I'm going to look them up myself. Red Roses, thank you for the picture illustration of the thread. It really helped Will. That is, no, Will did the machine. You're welcome. Appreciate that. Lisa Brackenridge, have you, where did it go? Did I lose it? Have you used that Peggy Stitch remover? Yes. It looks like a men's trimmer. Could you use that instead? What do you mean? A men's trimmer? I have tried the men's trimmer. It did not work as well for me. Okay. That Peggy Stitch eraser is worth every penny. Every penny. Especially if you are mess up prone like myself. That Peggy Stitch eraser is worth every penny. And I'm going to tell you firsthand, and y'all know, because y'all done seen it. I done told y'all, and I done fussed. My mama made him my mama made him stop. My dad used to come and get my Peggy Stitch eraser and use it to shave with, just like the trimmer, right? How about that thing is still as sharp, just about, as it was when I first bought it. It still glides through the back of the embroidery and trims those threads, cuts through those threads like butter. Even now, after he used it, I know a good 6 times, I'm sure it was more than that, and he just didn't tell me, but it still works. And I've had it for over a year, I'm sure. That Peggy Stitch eraser is worth every penny. It really is. I love my Peggy Stitch eraser. So yes, it is worth it. I wouldn't skimp and get a men's trimmer. Me personally, I wouldn't do it. I would get the Peggy Stitch eraser if you can afford it. Dar Smith says, practicing on dollar stuff. Yes. Eve messaged me when I was going to tackle a book bag. I sure did, and you helped me. I practiced on 2 book bags and found where I could reorder it on Amazon. Now you have now you have 4 bags. Sometimes you do have extras laying around, and that's okay. But that's a good thing. It gives you more stuff to practice on. Sullivan Homesteaders, how do you know how many sheets of stabilizer you should use for a job? The amount of stabilizer, I wouldn't necessarily use more than one. The only time I would even think about using more than 1 sheet is if it's something like that you would use that mesh. Oh gosh, what is it called? Lightweight mesh. Cutaway stabilizer. Sometimes they say it's better if you can crisscross it, like 1 sheet is laid this way and you take the other sheet, do it like this and put it up under it. If it's something super lightweight, you can use 2 pieces up under it. But my thing is, the right stabilizer for the right job, you should for the most part only need 1. But this is the thing. You want to be sure that you're using the right type of stabilizer for the right job, more so than how many sheets. So a lot of times people are so frustrated with using cutaway stabilizer on items that they know they should be using cutaway on, that they would prefer to use tearaway or wash away, and then they get frustrated when the stuff doesn't turn out looking good. So they try and compensate by adding extra wash away or tearaway stabilizer. It's still not a good practice if it's something that's going to be handled or washed or messed with a lot. You really want to stick with your cutaway stabilizer. So it sounds like we need to do some type of video on stabilizers and get that out there. So we'll look at doing that to make sure that you know, because even with the designs by Little B, we use tearaway stabilizer. One sheet is all it takes, and it's not. I mean, and it stitches through beautifully. So I don't know why you would want to use more than one. Maria, can I tell you where I purchased the magnetic hoops from? My mighty hoops. I got them from Tex Mac, the Happy Embroidery store is where I purchased mine from, because it's right there, not far from my home, so I could go pick it up. It wasn't an issue. And do I use poly mesh cutaway? Yes. And where do you purchase it from? I want to say that I got mine from Amazon. If I did not get it from Amazon, I'll have to check my Amazon store and see if I have a poly mesh listed. If I don't have one listed, then I probably got it from Madeira is where I probably got it from. Lisa Donnelly, I watched John Deere Hooping Basics on YouTube, and it really helped my embroidery. John Deere is awesome, especially for digitizing. And his Hooping Basics, if I'm not mistaken, was showing also the new hooping stand, which is awesome. I contacted them, so we hopefully will be able to show that as well. Utah Grandma, I told the husband I was looking for the instruction booklet for your new machine, and he answered, "You mean the destruction?" Tell him no, it's not a destruction booklet. It does help. I read my manuals through and through and learned a lot, so not a destruction booklet. Sue says she just bought a Pfaff Creative Sensation. Well, that's cool. What size? What's the largest hoop that goes with the Pfaff Creative Sensation? Because I don't know. That would be neat to know, and we need to ring the bell for your baby if you just got one. Ms. Bickup says you were answering a question about pulling up the bobbin thread. Was the question pulling through the fabric or just the bobbin? Well, if they're threading, if they're putting the spool in the bobbin, you want to make sure you always pull your thread out of the bobbin. You have to have a tail coming out of the bobbin unless your embroidery machine doesn't call for it. But every machine I've ever touched, you have to at least have that tail coming out of the bobbin. But pulling it up through the fabric, no, you don't have to with most of your machines, because as I mentioned, like with that one, I don't have to. It pulls itself up. Angela Llewellyn, I have one my hubby made for you before he passed 7 years ago, and I bought the thread spool pin adapter. I am sorry for your loss, and that was awesome of him to make that for you. And I bet that's a wonderful memory to have in your sewing studio to use for years to come. And buying the pin adapter definitely, I'm sure, was helpful. So thank you for sharing that with us. Pamela says, I practiced on the 47-cent washcloths and have made several mistakes with lettering. That's cool. That's cool. I like using washcloths too, but I just been sticking with that because I bought that towel for a project and messed it up. So I was like, forget it. I'm just going to keep it and keep using it. Let's get through these. Sullivan says you bought polymesh from Amazon. I'm pretty sure that's where I got it from. Caroline Thread Place says Caroline Thread boxes will ship tomorrow. Thank you for letting us know that, Will. Working on the next kit already, and we'll start giving hints very soon. We look forward to that. Maria, you did the man's trimmer and it did not work. I know it. Maria, you're going to invest in the Peggy trimmer. I will tell anybody. Pamela Jackson, can the Peggy Stitch Eraser be used on towels? It can, but let me see if I can't pull this and I'll show you what I mean, because I know how I am, and I know I dropped my frame. What is on here? Nothing. Okay, that was that other project I was going to do. So this is the practice towel I was telling you guys about, right, where I've messed up and made errors. I was trying to do a motorcycle and a kid's name. So I'm going to show you this. If you were going to use the Peggy Stitch Eraser to take this out, which personally, if you get that far into it, I just start over and wouldn't use the Peggy Stitch Eraser. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm impatient, so that's why I would do that. But if you have the patience to do it, and you want to take all this out, you can. And I'll show you why. because I used a cutaway stabilizer on the back. I think that's cutaway. Yeah. I used a cutaway stabilizer on the back. So the stabilizer is holding the nap of the towel out of the way. So the Peggy Stitch eraser won't cut into the nap. That's going to be your problem, is trying to make sure you don't cut this nap. You know, because then the towel's going to look naked, you know, in the spot where you shaved it, right? So to avoid that, yes, this stabilizer is holding that out of the way, number one. Number two, you're only going to cut the back. You don't cut from the front. You're not supposed to. So the Peggy Stitch eraser you would use up against these threads here on the back. And as long as you're careful and you're cutting only where the threads are, you kind of shouldn't have to worry about cutting into the towel. Now, will you cut into the towel? It's a good possibility you will. Because that thing is super sharp and it does not forgive mistakes very easily. It doesn't. But it will eat these threads up and it will clear this out. And once, of course, you trim back here and go through it, which I have a video showing how to use the Peggy Stitch eraser, then you just come on the front and you pick the threads out. So you can use it on a towel, but the circumstances need to be good for it, you know. I'm trying to see, like right in here where there is no stabilizer holding the stitch out of the, the pile out of the way, I wouldn't use it. Because you're going to 9 times out of 10 cut this pile and it's going to look crazy. Because you're going to cut through the actual towel itself. So I wouldn't use it in that spot. But again, personal preference. Whatever you choose to do. Whatever you choose to do. Ellis Wolf. I've had my Peggy Stitch eraser for 12 years and it's still sharp. Yes. Justin is here. Hello, Justin. Hello, Justin. How are you? Thank you for being here this evening. Maria says, I gave the trimmer to your grandson because he likes to cut hair. That's nice. Yeah, encourage the baby to get him get some practice in because we need barbers. Tracy Jones, I put a hole in garments every time you use my Peggy Stitch eraser. You should do a tutorial because I must be doing something wrong. Tracy, I have a tutorial, ma'am. And that thing is super sharp. So you have to be sure that when you use it, you are using it only on those stitches and only in the area. And you don't have to, you know, get down in there with it. You just barely touch those threads in a lot of instances and they pop open like butter. It doesn't take much. So just definitely take your time and watch what you're doing. There is always still going to be a chance that you will put a hole in a garment. I've done it. So don't get too frustrated about it. But if you take your time, wear your reading glasses like I have to do, and just lightly touch those areas of those stitches, it'll help you keep from putting a hole in your garment. Okay. Maria says, what type of stabilizer is best to use on baby diapers? I would use a cutaway. I would use a cutaway because your baby diapers are going to be washed over and over and over and over and over again. Now, of course, the stabilizer is going to show on the back. So try and trim not super close to it because you're technically supposed to be a good at least ½ inch away from your embroidery thread to maintain the stabilization. But you can trim kind of close to it and help minimize that. But a lot of people don't like the look of the stabilizer, and so they choose to use tearaway. But you have to make that choice. Dar Smith, thank you, and may you and yours be well and taking care. See you in Google Plus. Have a good night, my dear. Thank you. Rejour to you as well. Abiomi, I am good. Thank you very much. Carrie says, you're such a sweet person. Thanks for all of your help. You're welcome, my dear. You're welcome. Just want folks to get the help that they need. Renee, you just finished cooking dinner for the hubby. Oh, man. Sorry, you're super late. Not an issue. We always appreciate you showing up and saying hi to us. Lisa says, great, thank you. And Maria for the advice. You're welcome. Sue says, Eve, your hoop size for the FAF Creative Sensation goes up to 360 by 200. That's what's up. So we need to ring the bell. Will, where are the keys so that we can ring the bell? Almost lost the bell. So did you come up with a name for your baby Miss Sue for the FAF Creative Sensation? No, let us know what the name is. Congratulations! Congratulations on your FAF with your great big old hoop, 360 by 200. Ask me what the conversion of that is to inches. I don't know. Okay, well, maybe I do. Because the 4x4 is the 100 by 100. That's the 200. So I'm assuming 5x7. Could I be right? I don't know. Maria says on the towel, was the design too dense? Are you meaning the one that I messed up on and why I felt like it was messed up? That wasn't the issue. The issue was I did it in the wrong color or something, or I misspelled something. I can't remember, but it wasn't because it was too dense. Not because my thing is with a towel, it's so heavy duty. The density on a towel is a good thing in a lot of instances because the density helps hold that pile down. So it wouldn't because it was too dense. Let us see. Miss Pickham says you use your stitch eraser on everything. If I mess up, yes, I use it. You're gonna add it to your long Christmas wish list, Sullivan Homesteader. That's funny. We'll make sure that your purchaser knows that they can get it off of the Amazon influencer list that I have listed in the description below, where I list all of the awesome cool things that you need for your embroidery studios. Miss Social Deb, I'm looking at a baby lock Allegro. Anyone to talk you out of it? No. Dara Smith says feed yourself last week and we hoop as a group. Yes, we do hoop as a group and feed yourself. That's funny. Thank you very much for reminding us of how much fun we had last week with Mr. Justin. Ronnie's wrap. So what type would you use on handkerchiefs? I would use the light mesh cutaway on handkerchiefs. That wesh child. That mesh is some awesome stuff. It really is. Sue Betchel said wonderment. So that's another suggestion if that's something that you want to try. Barbara Nat says, is there a good place to check embroidery thread colors for different manufacturers trying to match colors? I just got a... Why do I never have stuff right here at my hand when I'm telling y'all about stuff? I don't understand that. Maybe, is this it? No, that's not it. I went to Tex-Mac, which y'all knew because that's how I took a picture of the jumbo hoop. And I don't even know where that paper is. They gave me a thread conversion chart. So there are charts out there. If I can find it, I'll post a picture of it. Well, I can't post a picture of it. I'll see if I can't upload it to the Google. No, I can't put files in the Google Plus group. That's something else I don't like about the Google Plus group. Well, Google Plus, not the group. Google Plus will not let me put up files so that if you guys wanted to download something, you could go there and get it in one central location labeled files. So that's something else we'll definitely be looking at adding to a Google Plus group coming soon to you, or a newfangled Google Plus group. But I'll see about some kind of way of getting a copy of that, some kind of way for you guys to see it, because it was a conversion chart. It was about 4 pages to show you what threads match up across the different brands. Dropbox, that's true. I hate Dropbox though. I like Google Drive. Let me shut up. Whatever works best for you guys, that's what I'm going to use. So Dropbox, everybody knows Dropbox. So we'll probably put it in a Dropbox and do it that way. Because it's 4 pages and I think they're front and back. Because there's a long list of threads. Let me see. You can use a couple of layers of Solvay on the back of the diaper instead of stabilizer and slow it down. So the thing is, I have to advise from what I learned the professional way. So that can work. That can work. But to make sure that our embroidery holds up, I've been told to say, cut away. Cut away stabilizer. Because it's going to be washed and such. Let's miss it. Let's miss it. Yeah, no, we're not going to talk you out of nothing. I showed the hoop. Don't I love it? What hoop? Are you talking about the Mighty Hoop? I did show the Mighty Hoop, but is that what you're talking about, Miss Pickup? Let's see. You almost bought a Viking Ruby Royale. So close. But it is being discontinued. No, I didn't know that. It didn't want to be locked into a discontinued machine. I know that's right. Neither would I. So I think you made a good choice. There's nothing more frustrating than to have equipment that you can't have support for, and that's just not a lot of fun, even though there are a lot of those out there. So if you did have to have repairs done, you'd be using used parts in a lot of instances, and then I'm sure there's going to still be quite a few new parts, but I definitely would run from it myself personally, but that's just me. But if the price is just too good to be true, then I would jump on it, depending. That depends. So you guys, I appreciate you being here. Oh yeah. When I showed the big, huge, gigantus hoop like the one that you have. Yes, I did like it, but it wouldn't fit what I have. That's only for the for your embroidery machine, because it fits your machine perfectly. But mine, that is not what that's made for. And their happy machine, it wasn't going to fit the 7 needle. It would have fit the 12 needle. So, yeah. I like it. I don't know what in the world I would use it for, but I liked it. It was cool. Darth Smith, thank you, Eve. Good night to all here in chat. We've learned, and that is a good thing. Yes, we all did. And I appreciate you all being here. We're up to 80 now in our live segment for the night, and I really appreciate you all being here. I have a lot of fun with you guys every week, and I always look forward to chatting with you and answering questions. All right, so if you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed our live segment tonight. I look forward to having a new video out coming this week. Another in our fall fashion line video. Now, I'll tell you this. For those who have hung in with me this long, because we just dropped somebody. For those who hung in with me this long. No, I'm not going to ring it loud. I'm going to tell you something. With this video that's coming up this week, it is racking my nerves, and it's because I am petrified of what I'm doing in this video. Not what I'm doing, because I know what I'm doing. That's not the issue. I'm making something that I am scared of. So, the video that's coming up this week, y'all, is taking everything in me to do this video. I'm just letting you know that now, and I'm doing it because I love y'all so much. And I'm going with what the majority of folks in the world like, as far as things, and I'm just like really petrified, but I'm gonna get through this video. I'm not gonna conquer my fear, but I'm going to get through it, and it's gonna be an awesome video. It's gonna be adorable, totally adorable. It's really gonna be cute when it turns out, even though I hate what it is. So I'm just letting y'all get a teaser. It's not a clown. I'm cool with clowns. And it's not a snake. I'm cool with snakes. I can deal with okay, I'll tell you what it is. And y'all don't laugh. Even though you can laugh, I really don't care, because I've been laughed at all my life. Well, not all my life, but since I was a kid. I can deal with clowns. I can deal with snakes. I'll pick up snakes. Not an issue. I can deal with mice. I can deal with rats. I can pick those up. That's not an issue. Bugs don't really bother me too bad. You know, as long as they're going away from me, I'm cool. Coming towards me, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to need you to respect my space. But I'm okay with that. I am very arachnophobic, but that's not what we're doing. Arachnophobic, there is no way I will be able to do what I'm going to be doing in this coming video. Y'all, I don't like butterflies. I don't like butterflies. I hate butterflies. Oh my god, I hate butterflies. I don't like them at all. Alright, so I had one fly in my face as a child, and it was like severely traumatizing, because I'm like, I couldn't get that stupid thing away from me. So I hate butterflies, right? But I found an embroidery, freestanding embroidery design that in a retarded way is gorgeous. Okay, so people have asked for freestanding lace. This isn't quite freestanding lace, but it's close. So when we do the butterfly, it's going to look like a real butterfly. It's embroidered. It's all embroidery, and it's not going to be embroidered on something and then you have a picture like embroidered on a shirt or embroidered on a towel. No, it's freestanding. So the actual butterfly itself will be completely embroidered. We're going to dip it in the water to remove the water soluble stabilizer, and then it'll be a freestanding butterfly. But we're going to take it a step further. Instead of it just being a freestanding horrible butterfly, it's fashion. It's fall fashion. So we're going to take it a step further and make it into something fashionable. So you guys can look forward to that coming up this week. I'm going to be sweating bullets or whatever. Who knows? In the video, my hands might be shaking. I might be saying prayers. I don't know. Just looking at the embroidery designs have me with the willies. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I had a nightmare the night I bought the design. So y'all root for me on this video coming up this week, and I hope it gets a ton of likes, and I hope it benefits somebody because it's easy to do. It's going to be so easy, and that's the whole point of this fall fashion segment that I've been doing. Is easy embroidery. I mean simple embroidery, right? So beginners, I mean just buying a machine for the first time, don't know squat about embroidery, should be able to embroider everything we've done so far, including this. And this is actually a really cool concept that they can do freestanding embroidery and use it in different ways. And so I'm okay with dragonflies. We're going to do a dragonfly too, but I don't like butterflies, but we're going to do a butterfly. So look forward to that. And hope you guys enjoy that particular video. Until then, I want to... She said she want to see the bloopers. No. Because the bloopers might include tears. And I don't cry in front of people too quickly. I don't like to cry. So, you know. I appreciate it. That's funny. That's funny. Carol Coleman, you get some rest from your surgery. I am sorry to hear that. I hope you recuperate quickly. Esora, thank you for joining us, although a little bit late. It's okay. Janet McKinney, you asked about the thread that's good for white towels. Something you can use for bleaching. I use the Madeira Polyneon thread. All of their threads are light bleach friendly. So like, you know, I bleach my towels. Not an issue with any of their thread. Not an issue at all. Madeira. Okay, Polyneon. So thank you guys. I appreciate again you being here. I'm getting ready to go lay down. You said sorry, but you don't have hate in my soul. You just like, I don't know. Spiders. Spiders is up there on that hate level, girl. You talking about somebody be mad and ready to fight when don't let it be a big one. Oh my God. Oh. Child, you give me the weepy teeth. That's way worse than the butterflies. I can tolerate the butterflies. Spiders, nope, 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 not at all. So, but at any rate, thank you all. Appreciate you hanging in with me. Will, I'm gonna get up with you on your t-shirt for the Eating Bad Baby Cabbage Patch doll. You guys, I look forward to getting your responses for the video coming up this week. We also need to get a Sew Up Pro tutorial out there this week coming up as well. So if you have any ideas or questions, hit me up in the description box below. So until the next time I see you guys, we ran over. I apologize, but I had a good time talking to you. So until the next time we see you, happy embroidering. Thank you all again for joining us, and you have an excellent night. Bye.